Hello and welcome. Today we've got Mark and Danielle and Miles Standish, and we are going to be discussing the importance of collectible silver and gold coins. Now, just before we begin, you can subscribe to our Telegram channels and to nicholasveniamin.com for my free email updates. And if you're watching this for the first time on YouTube, I will leave the link below in the description for the full interview, unless, of course, myself and the guests can choose our words wisely due to the insane censorship that's happening right now. Mark, Danielle, and Miles, how are you and what have you been up to? We'll go with Mark first.
Well, it's been really great, actually. Obviously, we're seeing a lot of things start to change in the world, I think, and in the favor of what we want. I think a lot more people are waking up. So in that sense, it's very, very positive. And also the fact that we're able to go out there and empower people with this membership and be able to have people such as Miles that we've been able to become friends with and partners with in business. And it's been a lot of fun. We actually just got back from Cancun this past week on a trip down there. We got a chance to spend some time with Miles, and we would have loved to have had you out there too, Nicholas, but I know you couldn't make it this time. So hopefully next time.
I would love to make it, next time to Cancun. Miles, I was worried there that we lost you, but thank God you're back. Danielle, why don't you tell us how you are as well? And then you can both together introduce Miles to us, because it's also the first time I'm meeting him as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, we're awesome. And we feel really good, especially just like Mark said, everything going on in the world. It just seems like we're getting closer and closer to getting back our freedom. So we're excited because we have Miles Standish with us today. And Nicholas, I know that we've talked before about how when we got started investing in gold and silver, we were predominantly just focused on bullion. But we quickly learned the numismatic side, the coin collecting side. And within our membership, one of the designers, or I should say our designer, Miles Standish, just creates the most gorgeous coins. And we feel so privileged because he's actually was given the honor of being it was the Coin World Publications top 100 most influential people. Miles was in the top 10, the most influential people in the coin world from 1960 to present day. So he is very humble, but this is a gentleman who has great influence in the coin space, and his work is just brilliant. So we feel so honored that he has joined us today. And he's really funny, by the way.
And I have to mention, too, that this gentleman's a legend. I mean, sincerely, we had not been into coin collecting ever prior to this. And it wasn't really something that was an interest to us. We were looking at gold and silver for the ounces. And then when we got introduced to this, we saw a couple of the coins that really sparked our attention. But it was the quality of the coins that in particular Miles created, the patriotism that was behind them, the story behind them, the high relief where it would actually come off the coin. I mean, that got us hooked. And we were actually getting multiple of them, and including the Miss Liberty 9/11 commemorative series. That was unbelievable. And so I think it's an absolute honor to have him on here. He's put together, again, these great series. And because of that, I do know that one of the mints, the CIT Mint in Liechtenstein, actually put in millions of dollars to go out there and upgrade their equipment to be able to deal with the quality of coins that this gentleman is putting together. And so I just wanted to make sure that was well known, that this gentleman is a legend, and we're honored to have you on, Miles.
Well, Miles, it's a big honor to have you. Thank you so much. Just before we ask you, Miles, some questions, Danielle, could you quickly show us that coin that you showed us just before we went on air that Miles designed, please?
Or co-designer.
Wow. Isn't that beautiful? Now, Miles, tell us what made you get involved in designing coins, and what is the value of it?
Well, thank you again for all of you for having me on today. I appreciate it very much. This is a great opportunity to explain some of the things that I do and have done in my career. For more than 40 years, I've been involved in coin collecting. For over 35 years, I've been involved in grading numismatic coins based on their condition and quality. And certification has been my background for that period of time. after many, many years of looking at so many great coins, you get a real sense of, from both world coin mints and U.S. mints and mints around the globe, basically. You get some best ideas in your head, and you can't get rid of them when you love numismatic coins. And numismatic coins have been my life. I started out as a bullion collector, but then graduated into numismatic coins at a young age. The advantage of the coin designs that I have, I believe that I can drive both the story behind the coin, the design of the coin, and I can control all of that and make it a better package. And I think I have an advantage over most artists. Most artists don't have the opportunity to, as they say, from start to finish of the project in the designing of a coin. And as I've said before, a lot of the coins that I want to design, I want to have a real connection to it, a real personal connection. And I think it's more than just the actual appearance of the coin, but it's what tells the story of the coin, having that personal connection. The Statue of Liberty series, which was my first coins design in 2020. I had this idea in my mind for many, many years. Even had another mint several years ago turned down the idea that they didn't want to produce the coin with me after I designed it. And it would be, it was this idea of, we always have this vision of Miss Liberty standing tall in New York Harbor, and you're looking at her. And I always had this idea that it would be great to have the front of a coin that is that image of how we look at Miss Liberty and what's behind her and what's happened in the past prior to that moment. And then when you turn the coin over, you would see the full backside of Miss Liberty and her looking into the future of promise. And I call it the then and now series of, what it was in 1886, when Miss Liberty first was erected in New York Harbor, and then current day with the Freedom Tower in the background. But like I said, I think the big advantage is that I've handled so many coins. I think I got a good understanding from collectors, many, many years of conversations of what collectors do and don't like. And I try to design items that I think have high interest. And I try to continue that. And, I have some personal goals that I'd like to accomplish, but more importantly, I'd like to accomplish great designs that people really gravitate to the story of the item. And I believe I did that with Statue of Liberty series and then the White House series. The White House series, of course, was from a personal experience of touring the White House in a late night tour of the West Wing, to even being at the Oval Office while Marine One lands with the President of the United States. And that particular coin, that's what I call a real life experience when you do White House coins and with the 2-ounce coin having Marine One helicopters on the White House lawn. It was a riveting moment because, the whole building you could feel shaking and the loud thunderous sound of one of these Marine One helicopters landing. It's one of those things, if you can't get goosebumps from that, you can't feel anything. But it was, it's one of those moments that, 9:45 at night, and I didn't know what was going on. And the security who sits at a desk outside the Oval Office, I looked at him and said, what is that? And he said, that's Marine One. And that was President Bush returning from Vietnam, from his first meeting with North Korea's leader. And, we know the rest. We know how that story progressed along the way and know where we're at today. But, like I said, that's the kind of advantage that I think I get from my coin designs. And I'm going to continue it for hopefully many years to come.
That's amazing, Miles. And as you were talking, Danielle was showing those coins and they look so beautiful. I love the designs. I also want to get into today the benefits and value of the coins, and also the membership that's available with the coins too, where the viewers can earn another stream of revenue and they don't have to do so much. But before we get into that, let me ask you, could you give us an example of how much a coin was once upon a time and how much it then became and how much that person profited from a coin, just so that we can establish the value of a coin?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of stories, true stories of coin values increasing over time. There's literally coins. We had a coin that sold in this country last year for $18.9 million. And it was just 2002 when that coin sold for $7.2 million. So, that's just an example. I know that Mark and Danielle can talk about the Miss Liberty series and what it started at, where I believe the 1 ounce coin, where there was 1,886 of them struck, 1886 representing the year that Miss Liberty was erected in New York Harbor. I believe at the time was $199. I believe it was less than $200. And, I've seen coins that have traded for $700, $1,200, $1,500, $2,000 since then, with the demand on the 1 ounce and 2 ounce coin. The 2 ounce coin, I believe it's 1028, which is 1,028 coins struck, representing October 28th. And then you have the 1886 for the year of when Miss Liberty was erected in New York Harbor. So there's some growth right there that you'll see that's happened. I know the White House coins have had some of that too. I know that the 5 ounce Miss Liberty series coin that was originally, I think it was $795. And I've seen coins that are listed on the internet selling for $1,200 and $1,500 a piece. And that coin just came out last September.
Wow.
Of 2021.
Well, we've all been collecting coins for the last year. I mean, I just hope I get close to that. Well, at least one of the coins.
So Nicholas, what is your favorite coin that you've seen so far that's been offered?
I mean, I have no idea about coins, and this is why the viewers, I believe, will connect with this interview, because we've got an expert like yourself who design coins that can educate us.
Right. Well, I think the historical information that I try to drive in all of my coin designs, it's as they say, there's a lot of things that you don't learn in public schools in America, and I think that I try to find the history deeper than what we kind of gloss through in American history. The Ben Franklin series that's been coming out lately through 7K, I think I dug deeper than probably what anybody ever imagined about Benjamin Franklin. In this country, most people think that, Benjamin Franklin was, Postmaster General. He was a prolific writer and obviously involved in all the major documents of our country. But more importantly, some of the things that he did that relate to people that are watching your show today, and where he was an actual silver stacker. Okay. He acquired wealth and preserved it in sterling silver. And the story of that money being dedicated for not 100 years after his death, but over 200 years after his death. He has a phenomenal story of how he planned estate planning and what he wanted it to do for even after his demise and passing. For over 200 years, he kept himself very relevant in the sense of what he dedicated to other people. I mean, you talk about somebody that actually wanted to do things to help other people. I mean, he has a phenomenal story of what he did, after his death. But I don't think that people would have realized how they're stacking today. Benjamin Franklin was doing that over 200 years ago with the same plan that we're all planning to protect our assets. In his case, he was trying to, be a good humanitarian. And I think he accomplished that.
If I can just interject too, because
Please.
Miles, you really made a good point. I was a public school teacher for 14 years, and I've just been blown away by how much information's been suppressed. And so what Miles does, and Miles, I don't even know if you know this, I think you might be aware, but the stories that Miles tells with the coins, the way that we roll out these coins, we have homeschooling families across the United States who are using that as curriculum to teach the kids the truth,
That
because
makes me very happy, Danielle.
yes, it makes me happy too.
And I want to mention one thing too, because you were talking about the value of the coins, and Miles, you were talking about this, because I want to mention this. I know Miles is never going to brag about what his coins have appreciated to, and no one can ever predict that. But this coin here, this is the 2-ounce Miss Liberty coin, and
It's gorgeous.
this came out actually before we got involved with the membership, and we went out and found it on the secondary market and got one at that time. But that originally came out for $299, and currently the market value on that one coin is over $1,440. And the last I saw it was going for $2,000 was the lowest bid on that particular coin, because it's no longer in circulation by the company. There's only so many of these minted, so the rarity, and as Miles has shared, the story behind it is powerful, and that's what gets people. That's what gets us to want to get it. The Pearl Harbor series that he just rolled out was just stunning for us. And
I'll just
getting
say
ahead of myself
too, based on that, like hearing that, that's when you start to realize that when you are looking at gold and silver as not only protection, but as an investment, you learn that the collectible space is the offense in investing. And, once you quickly learn to discern between what's a good coin, what's not a good coin. And we've been so blessed because with this membership, Miles is, our designer. And so, I mean, we started with the best. So,
and the education is incredible. And that's what has allowed our assets, excuse me, that we had sitting in the bank earning nothing. We transitioned a lot of them into ounces, but also into collectibles. And our collectibles have seen over a 20% increase in their market value. It's just been that, and that's completely changed our mindset on how collectibles work.
And we know that collectibles right now are all the rage. What are those things called? I keep forgetting what they're called.
Oh, the NFTs?
There's NFTs, which are literally digital collectibles. I don't even get that whole space, but those are booming. You've got the sports memorabilia, but the coin collection, I mean, not only do you have this amazing art, but it's with silver and it's with gold. So it's unbelievable. So Miles, I'd love for you to talk about what you're witnessing with our membership and what's happening, how you're creating this whole global movement of collectors and what you see coming in the future.
Well, I'll tell you, because of the name of the game is gold and silver, and all the numismatic coins that I design have been primarily gold and silver. I just think that, numismatic coins are kind of the double play of gold and silver. It's not just singular where it's based on ounces, but it's based on overall demand, rarity, and availability. And, the growth of people puts the pressure on that collectible that's desired. And to me, the whole direct selling model of, providing gold and silver and numismatic coins, it's got an easy nowhere but up direction as far as new members are concerned, because everybody sees the value when you have no value in your fiat currency and only value in things like gold and silver, platinum. Those are 3 metals that I actually like. So I just see that, the growth is kind of, it is, gold and silver is unlimited in the sense of people that want it. And generally speaking, and I tell this because people always ask me, why can't you go to the bank and buy gold and silver? A lot of people think generally like, yeah, why not? That makes sense. Well, believe me, if you're the bank, it doesn't make sense. The bank does not want to sell you gold and silver. They want to keep you in fiat currency because they don't make money if you have gold and silver. They make money if you move your dollars back and forth and loan it and borrow it. That's really why you have that situation that way, where the accessibility of buying gold and silver If you can do it online, you can do it, sometimes locally. But if you want the best prices, a program like the direct selling program that's available through 7K is really the best. It's the best fair shake, as I call it, to the public.
Absolutely. So let's talk about how this could benefit the viewers with the membership. Let's talk about the membership a little bit more, Miles, if possible, please.
Well, that might be Mark and Danielle's work more than mine. My participation is obviously, I get to design coins and tell funny jokes. but I think, well, at least Mark's laughing. But I think that the best people to describe how that program works is going to be Mark and Danielle.
Okay, great. So Mark and Danielle, why don't you give us a breakdown of what this consists? And if the viewers are interested, I believe you also offer a free webinar where you educate them and tell them exactly what this is all about.
Sure. Well, thank you very much. And, I just want to say that the best thing regarding Miles Standish and his coin series, I would encourage everybody. There are some coins that we haven't even had a chance to really show you that really don't even reflect the true quality of them. When we're trying to hold them up and we've got the reflections of our windows behind us, it doesn't do anywhere near the justice as to what these things are doing. Like this stunning, I'll tell you what, this is the stunning AUSS Arizona 1 ounce, and we love that. But the reason why I'm saying that is that prior to this, Danielle and I we worked from home for a long time. We've been in the working from home literally for decades now, not having to answer to anybody. And during all of this stuff that was going on, it was really kind of refreshing because we weren't so much being required to go out and slap a thing over our face or go out there and be required to get something that obviously we weren't necessarily, we want to have the choice to be able to do. And there were many people who put in that position where they had to do that. And, we wanted to find something where we were making an impact in a positive way on people. We didn't want to be taking advantage of people to get ahead. And that was very important to us. And we walked away from very lucrative incomes just simply because of the ethical standards of what we wanted to be able to match with who we are. And when we were really kind of at the end of our rope, we had some great things that we were doing, but just not something that had really what we felt was a need in the marketplace. As we're listening to Robert Kiyosaki talk about gold and silver and how we need to go out there and really kind of protect ourselves with that. That was something that when we heard that and we saw access to this membership, we said, this is it. This is something that I can share with everybody. I don't even care if they don't like the industry we're in. I don't care if they're not into different sorts of health and wellness products or skincare products or whatever. This is something people need to do because what's happening in the economy around us is there's people playing games with our money and they're making decisions, driving our dollars value right down the toilet. And they're collecting the gold and silver and doing all that like crazy. And they're leaving us out in the cold with no education, not knowing what to do. And this company has really kind of brought us in the education and the relationships with people such as Miles, the knowledge that it's helped us. Our savings have increased like never before. We've got more education than we've ever felt during a time when there's chaos in the world. We feel good about where we're at. And most importantly is that we can empower other people. We're not into trying to twist anybody's arm or convince anybody, hey, you need to do this. It's basically look at this and it makes common sense. And when we see people's lives being changed, we see them going from disempowered or however you want to put it to empowered and knowledgeable and really saving for their future. It's been an amazing ride and it's just beginning. And the stuff that's coming down the road and being able to, again, have relationships like this with Miles is just an honor.
Danielle,
And help with us.
Thank you, Mark. Danielle, is there anything that you would like to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, I'll just add that, because of you, Nicholas, allowing, us to come on here and to share this incredible membership, we have created incredible relationships with people across the globe. And our members, they're just so happy. And they like the way we feel where they're not worried anymore. With everything that is going on, this is one thing people feel like once they understand and they get their hands on gold and silver, there's just this sense of peace about it. I've said it before, Robert Kiyosaki says that it is God's money, always meant for us. And, now it's time to get it back into the hands of the people. And I really feel this is a way to get our power back. And the collectible space ended up just being this pleasant surprise that came through the membership. And every single person we introduced, they say the same thing. Miles, just so you know, when we got started and we saw the collectibles, we're like, do we have to do that? Like, we don't get that. Mm-hmm. It's inevitable. We hear it over and over again. And then the minute people get that first coin, everybody becomes hooked. And it's just, that's why you're seeing the value go up. I mean, part of the membership is you have access to an app that allows you to go in the marketplace and load your coins, sell your coins, put bids on other coins. And that's just been really fun. And that's where we're really seeing the value go up. So,
and if I can mention one last thing, I apologize, Nicholas, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just want to mention this because this is something that I just saw, it's basically laid out for our folks. Because so many people are like, well, I don't know why I want to get collectibles. I'm just going to get the ounces. We get a lot of people because they want to protect themselves against economic collapse, and they don't necessarily see the value like we didn't. But I mean, we were just at an event where we saw a picture of a piece of art that was yellow on top and blue on the bottom and sold for $140 million. And it's like, you got to be kidding me. We're scratching our heads. But the fact is that the wealthy go out there and they build their wealth and there's 5 areas that they do it in. And one is exclusive real estate. And I'm reading this right now. Second is fine art. The third are rare coins, gold, and usable precious metals. Those 3 last areas are all areas that are encompassed, including the fine art, though. That would fall into what our coins are doing, especially with Miles designs that we have. So, it's just a way for people to really go out there and protect their assets, but at the same time, build something that's appreciating at a time when everything else around us seems to be going down the wrong way.
And it's fun. It's like
it is a blast. It's like fun. Christmas.
Well, it's really fun. I've even been involved with you guys for a year. I'm part of the membership as well. It's fantastic. And if you're a fan of silver and gold, I think you also should be involved. And what I'll do is, excuse me, Danielle will do webinars if you're interested and you want to know more. So I will leave the link below in the description. And it's been a great honor to have you, Miles, Mark, and Danielle. Thank you so, so much. Is there anything else that you'd like to say to the viewers before we finish? Danielle, we'll go with you first.
No, just, if this resonates with you, if you've been wondering, you've been praying about it, reach out to us. There's no pressure. We'll show you how it works. And if it's for you, we'll help you get started.
Yeah. And I'm sorry. I didn't interrupt you.
No, I was going to say, Mark, over to you.
I was just going to say, just let us know. Go to silvergolddreams.com and just fill in the info. It's a zero pressure situation. It's just education. But I'll tell you, everybody, don't just sit back and say, oh, you know what, we'll be okay. Everything will be okay. Because things like this have happened in the past in other countries. And this is our chance to make sure that you're protecting yourself. And I just think it's a very smart thing to do. Just find out and then you make up your own mind.
And Miles.
Thank you, Nicholas. When Danielle was saying that some of the stay-at-home education that's going on, people are learning from some of the coins that I designed. And one of the key components to just about everything I do is to have fun. And in this case, you learn something and you have fun. And I always say, have fun with your coins. Buy the coins you like. And I think you'll find that numismatic coins are very interesting and they tell a great story and they have great designs. And I believe you'll have a lot of fun collecting numismatic coins.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for educating us about that, and thank you so much for the designs. They're beautiful. And Danielle and Mark, thank you again, and we'll speak again very soon. God bless you. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye bye.